Hey, welcome back. I'm Ross with Sky Management, and today we're going to be installing some bifold doors on a closet. This closet is for a washer and dryer. We're going to be installing a rail along the top and the hinge pins at the bottom so that we can hang two of these bifold doors side by side over the closet here. So let's get started. What we have are two 3-foot door kits that come with the hardware, and we have a 5-foot opening, so we're going to have to cut these down in order to make them fit along the top. So I'm going to use an angle grinder to cut about 6 inches off of both of these rails so that we can fit them in and hang the doors. Each bifold door kit comes with a packet of the hardware needed to hang it. You have the bottom bracket that the door will sit into. This is a piece that makes two doors close together. The screws to attach the top rail and the bottom bracket. The pin that's the top hinge pin. The wheel where it slides, the door slides back and forth along the top. The bottom hinge pin. And a spring to fit between two doors. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these rails so that they will fit. This is how much overlap we have. It looks like I'm going to have to cut off about 5 3/4 inch off of each rail. So I'm going to take them about here. And this is going to be taking off the outside edge, so I'm going to be cutting that edge that's against the wall. So I've slid these top hinge pin holes to the side so that I can cut these rails, and then they'll go on the outside where I've cut it. I'm going to cut both rails so that the gap between the two is right in the middle of the door. That way the wheel from either side doesn't have to roll over where the two rails connect. So there's a couple ways to cut these. I would prefer an angle grinder, but what I have with me today is a a sawzall with a metal blade on it. You could also use a hacksaw. So we'll go ahead and cut the other one. Now that I have both pieces cut so that they're the proper width of the door, you can look at where you want to put them on the top. Since this closet already had doors on it that I'm just replacing, I'm going to want to put them in the same spot so I can see on the wall here where the bottom bracket was originally. And if you want to match it to the top side, you can measure how far in the bracket is. In this case, I'm going to want to go 4.5 inches in so that I can get it in the same spot on the top so the doors are vertical. So we're putting these up there on the top. You can measure in, find that same distance. Now on this door, since I've removed the ones that were here, I can kind of cheat because I've still got holes from the old ones, but they're not going to line up with the holes for the new one. So I can position it where the old holes were. You want to make sure that it's going straight across the top. And then I'm going to mark where I want the new screws to go. Right there. And I'm going to mark all the holes. Make sure I keep my rails straight. I'll be ready to screw it up there. Okay, I've got my brother here. He's going to hold it up there while I do this. It's a little easier to do it with 2 people, so you can make sure you hold it straight while you get your screw started.
And now I'm no longer necessary.
Okay, I'm going to get this one screwed up there and put up the other one, and then we'll talk about the bottom brackets. For putting these bottom brackets on, you want to measure your door and make sure that you get this where the door will rest on it and still be able to reach the top. Sometimes you have to shim this up a little bit off the floor. In this case, we'll be able to set it all the way on the floor. The door will have about an inch worth of play because the bottom hinge pin unscrews down about an inch, so you have about an inch worth of play on this. Since I already have holes here for mine, since we removed one already, I'm going to try to reuse that hole. At least one of them. And we'll put it on the other side. There are 3 pins that will need to go into the door. The one that is on the bottom will be on the outside edge of the door, and it's this one with the teeth all around it, and it fits down inside this bottom bracket. This bottom bracket has teeth all along both sides that this will fit in, and it's adjustable about 2 inches worth there, depending on how close you want it to the wall. This is what I was talking about, how this unscrews down and it gives you a little bit of play on the door. There are 2 top pins that go in the door. The one is the straight one, and it's going to go inside this hole right here. So when you go to put the door in, the top pin, you'll put it in first and push it up in there so that the door pushes all the way to the top. That will allow you to set the bottom pin into the bottom bracket. So when you position the bottom pin over the bracket and lower the door back down, it'll be able to drop and that pin will stay in the hole. The other pin that is on top has a wheel on it, and it's the wheel that slides in this top rail. The top pin goes in the little car that slides back and forth in the rail, and you're going to have to slide it almost all the way to the end and then tighten that screw that's in it so that it's secure. Once you've got that car secured up there, you're ready to hang the door. So like I said, you're going to want to put that top pin into the hole that's in that car and push up on it as you set the bottom pin in to the bottom. Just like that. Then when you go to close the door, the one with the wheel, you can push it down, put it into the rail so that it'll close. Now I'll show you the bottom pin on the other side while we do it. Just slide that top pin into the car on top, position the door over the bottom bracket, just like that. And that's how you hang a set of bifolds. So we'll see you next time. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.